Hello everyone. Welcome back to online teaching of science lecture of standard 8. In this session, we will continue our 14th lesson, measurement and effects of heat. Specific heat. First we will see what is the specific heat. The specific heat of an object is the amount of heat required to increase the temperature of unit mass of that substance through 1 degree. Specific heat is represented by the symbol C. Its unit in SI is joule per kilogram degree Celsius and in CGS is calorie per gram degree Celsius. Formula of specific heat. Description and symbol is given. Amount of water means M. Temperature before heating means T1. It is called initial temperature also. Temperature after 20 minutes means T2 and it is also called final temperature means TF also. Amount of heat provided to increase the temperature is Q. So what is the formula of specific heat? Q is equal to M into C into T2 minus T1 is equal to M into C into delta T, because delta T is equal to T2 minus T1. Different substances have different specific heats. Here in this table, the specific heats of a few substances given. It is given in the calorie per gram degree Celsius. First one, aluminium. It is 0.21 means calorie per gram degree Celsius. Alcohol 0.58, gold 0.03, hydrogen 3.42, iron 0.11, copper 0.09, mercury 0.03 and water is 1.0. That is all are in the specific heat of substances calorie per gram degree Celsius. Calorimeter. A calorimeter is used to measure the heat content of an object. Using this equipment, we can measure the heat produced or absorbed in a physical or chemical process. A calorimeter is similar to a thermoflask. A calorimeter has two vessels, an inner and outer one. This way, no heat can be transferred from the inner to the outer vessel or from the outer to the inner vessel, and thus the inner vessel is thermally isolated from the surroundings. The inner vessel is made up of copper. A thermometer for measuring the temperature and a stirrer for stirring the liquid in the calorimeter are fitted in it. Water at a fixed temperature is placed inside the calorimeter. This means that the temperature of the inner vessel and that of the water in it are the same. When a hot object is placed in water, heat is exchanged between the hot object. water and the calorimeter, and all three reach the same temperature. As the calorimeter is thermally isolated from the surroundings, the total heat lost by the hot object is equal to the total heat absorbed by the calorimeter and water inside it. Similarly, if we put a cold object in the calorimeter now, the cold object will receive heat from the water and its temperature will increase, while water and calorimeter will lose heat and their temperature will decrease. Now calculate the amount of heat. QO is equal to MO into delta TO into CO. Okay. Delta TO is equal to TO minus TF. Here QO is equal to what? It is the total heat given away by the object, and MO means mass of the object, and CO means it is the specific heat given by the object. Now QW is equal to MW into delta TW into CW. Delta TW is equal to TF minus TI. Here QW means what? It is the total heat given by the water, gained by the water. Okay. And MW means what? Mass of the water. CW means what? It is the specific heat by the water. And TF means what? Final temperature. And TI is the initial temperature. Next one, QC is equal to MC into delta TC into CC. Delta TC is equal to TF minus TI is equal to delta TW. Here QC is equal to the total heat given by the calorimeter, and MC is the mass of the calorimeter. So, but QO is equal to QW plus QC means the total heat given away by the object will be equal to the sum of the heat gained by the calorimeter and by water. So MO into delta TO into CO is equal to MW into delta TW into CW plus MC into delta TC into CC. We can measure all the masses and temperatures if we know the specific heats of the material of the calorimeter, that is copper and that of the water. Okay. Effects of heat. We have studied that expansion and contraction and change of state also. First we will see now what is the expansion. Expansion. When heat is given to any substance, its temperature increases and it expands. Its expansion depends on the increase in its temperature. Solid, liquid and gases all expand on receiving heat. Expansion of solids. Linear expansion. The linear expansion of a solid is the increase in length of a wire or a rod of a solid due to increase in its temperature. Means when we increase the temperature of a rod of length L1 from T1 to T2, its length becomes L2. The change in length is proportional to the original length and the increase in temperature. Means delta T is equal to T2 minus T1. So we can write the L2 is equal to L1 into 1 plus lambda delta T. Here L2 is the change length. Delta T means change in temperature, and this is the lambda. Lambda means proportionality constant, otherwise coefficient of linear expansion. And unit of lambda is inverse of temperature 1 per degree Celsius. The expansion coefficients of some substances are given in this table. Here given solid, liquid and gas and their coefficient of linear expansion. First one, solid and coefficient of linear expansion. First one, copper 17, aluminium 23.1, iron 11.5, silver 18. And now liquids are there and their coefficient also given. Alcohol 1.0, water 0.2, mercury 0.2, chloroform 1.3. Now gases, hydrogen 3.66, helium 3.66, nitrogen 3.67, sulfur dioxide 3.90. Areal expansion of solids. Similar to linear expansion, the area of a sheet of a solid material also increases on heating. This is called the areal expansion of solids. This is given by the formula A2 is equal to A1 into 1 plus sigma delta T. Here delta T is the change in temperature and A1 and A2 are the initial and final areas of the sheet, and sigma is the coefficient of areal expansion of the solid. Volumetric expansion of solids. Similar to a sheet, a three-dimensional piece of a solid expands on all sides when heated and its volume also increases. This is called a volumetric expansion of a solid. This is given by the formula V2 is equal to V1 into 1 plus beta delta T. Here delta T is the change in temperature and V1 and V2 are the initial and final volumes of the solid, and beta is the volumetric expansion coefficient of the solid. Now you tell me, have you seen the rails? They are not continuous. A small gap is kept between them at regular intervals. As shown in the figure also you observe that. This is kept to accommodate the change in the length of the rails with change in temperature. If this gap is not kept, then the rails will get destroyed due to expansion in summer, and which may lead to the accidents. So similar to rails, the length of the bridges can also increase due to the expansion in summer. The length of the 18-kilometer long Great Belt Bridge in Denmark increases by 4.7 meter in summer. Therefore, provision is made in the construction of the bridges to accommodate this expansion. Expansion of liquids. A liquid does not have a definite shape, but it has a definite volume. So we can define a volumetric expansion coefficient for a liquid as follows. V2 is equal to V1 into 1 plus beta delta T. Here delta T is the change in temperature and V1 and V2 are the initial and final volumes of the liquid. Beta is the volumetric expansion coefficient of the liquid. Now, what is the anomalous behavior of water? The effect if heat on water is somewhat different from that for other liquids, and this is called the anomalous behavior of water. Usually on heating liquids expands and on cooling contract, but in water expands on cooling and contracts on heating. This is called the anomalous behavior of water. Expansion of gases. A gas does not even have a fixed volume. Gas expands on heating. But if the gas is kept in a closed box, its volume cannot increase, but its pressure increases. You can also observe in this figure there are the two bottles. In left side bottles there is the fixed piston, and in right side bottle you observe that movable piston when after the heating of the gas, and that time its pressure increases. So its piston is the movable, you can see that. Therefore, the expansion of a gas is measured by keeping its pressure constant, and this volumetric expansion coefficient is called the constant pressure expansion coefficient and is given by the following formula. V2 is equal to V1 into 1 plus beta delta T, and here delta T is the change in temperature and V1 and V2 are the initial and final volumes of the gas at constant pressure. Beta is the constant pressure expansion coefficient of the gas.